Like a bolt out of the blue, about 300 armed men invaded Kuje, a suburb of the nation's capital. They pumped rocket-propelled grenades and improvised explosive devices into the custodial center, housing over 900 inmates. At the end of the over 2-hour ordeal, more than 800 inmates, including 64 Boko Haram commanders, were freed and 5 persons confirmed dead. This visit by the House Committee on Interior is to have an on-the-spot assessment of the correctional center after the sad incident with a view to preventing a recurrence.
We are going to summon the CBI still, and if possible the minister to come and explain more in a private business so that the Nigerians will know what is happening.
Indeed, the attacks on custodial centers have become one too many. Apart from becoming a source of embarrassment to the nation's security architecture, it poses a grave danger to the citizens. Records show that the Buhari administration has recorded no less than 15 successful jailbreaks. Now, these legislators say incidents such as these can no longer be condoned. They say many questions beg for answers.
From the rules of security services, they're supposed to post one armed man from one security agent to a place.
Their operation shows that, yes, they are very conversant with this place. They are aware of all the network here.
The committee would like to know how many inmates in the correctional facility and how many escaped.
Before now, the Interior Ministry admitted that about 3,906 inmates were on the run. With the latest incident, the authorities are on the trail of additional 454 inmates from the Kuje Correctional Facility, and many citizens are upbeat about the threat posed by the escapees to the society.
There have been a lot of complaints in recent times over the underfunding of the judiciary, which in turn has resulted in poor remuneration for judges. Former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoye, had wondered unless the Supreme Court of Nigeria is adequately funded, the Apex Court may soon at best end up as a glorified High Court. The former CJN has stressed that justices of the Apex Court have been suffering in silence since 2008, when their salaries and emolument were last reviewed by the government. Some justices of the Apex Court still live in rented accommodations in unsuitable areas in the Federal Capital Territory. These conditions prompted a senior advocate of Nigeria, Sebastian Hon, to institute a suit seeking the court to mandate the federal government to increase the emolument of judges. In the course of hearing in the suit, the National Assembly had asked the court to allow for an out-of-court settlement. The judge held that the refusal of the government to review the judicial salaries and allowances for 14 years was unconstitutional, unlawful, and should be compelled to do the needful.
Justice Obaseki Osaigai lamented that judges and justices who are ministers in the Temple of Justice have now become victims of injustice.
There can be no Nigeria. That is the hope of the common man. And the judges are suffering, the justices are suffering. I know how much I'm earning as a senior advocate of Nigeria, and I also know how much they're earning. How can they discharge justice without fear or favor? Yet they've been trying. So
demonstrated that it is not just a passive member of the government, it is an active member. And I've always said that had it not been for the judiciary, our country would long since have disintegrated. We must encourage the judges.
The plaintiff noted that the highest paid judicial officer in the country is the Chief Justice of Nigeria and currently earns about 3.4 million naira per annum, far below what is earned by such an office in other countries. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja. At the last adjourned date, Justice Njideka N10M had ordered the defendant to be remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility after he pleaded not guilty to a 23-count charge of domestic violence and homicide. At the resumed sitting, Justice N10M asked journalists to leave the courtroom as they would not be observing the day's proceedings. The children of Mr. Nwachukwu Onosinachi then gave their testimony according to their capabilities. The children were also cross-examined and subsequently discharged from the case. The trial was adjourned till 11th October. Mr. Nwachukwu had allegedly escaped during the attack on the Kuje Correctional Facility, which took place on 6 July 2022. He was arrested by the Nigerian police after the death of his wife on April 8th, following widespread allegations by their children and family and colleagues that he battered her, and this led to her death. According to the charge of crime he allegedly contravenes Section 104 and Section 379 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and also contravenes Section 221 of the Penal Code and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.